The iPhone XS Max versus the Samsung Note 9 camera comparison. Both devices are in their own right amazing. They each have amazing features and are top of their line in their class. While the Note, being an Android phone, has a lot of competition, the iPhone is only competing with last year's iPhone model, which is always a sure win. Stick around to see what the big difference is between these two cameras. So you're in the market for a new smartphone. There are so many options out there and so many things to consider before making a purchase. The camera, of course, being one of them. If you're anything like me, you don't walk around carrying your DSLR camera in hand. When I go to take a photo, I grab a phone from my pocket. Being a techie, I typically have two phones on me, one Android and one Apple. Right now, I'm carrying the XS Max and the Galaxy Note 9. Depending on what photo I take is going to determine which phone I go to grab. One thing to point out on both devices, they're both sporting the portrait, also known as bokeh effect, on the cameras. That's right, the front facing, also known as the selfie camera, and the rear facing, typically called the main or the front camera, both have the bokeh effect, which is a big win for everybody involved. This, of course, is nothing new for Samsung, but for Apple, it's a big step forward. Good job, Apple. We love it when you finally catch up to the rest of the market. Based on using both cameras, I can say 100% that Apple's controls of ease of post-production adjustments is much simpler than Samsung's. With Apple, everything is right there on one screen, just a tap away. Samsung has us diving into menu after menu after menu, and then there are the settings. Now, menus aren't necessarily a bad thing. While Apple is easy to use, it does limit the more experienced camera shooter from enjoying manual mode. That's right, you heard me correct. Manual mode. If you want to learn more about your device's manual mode, go check out Juan Bagnell's video that you can find out right here. Bing! In this video, he digs into the ins and outs of manual mode, and maybe you'll learn how to take better photos. When doing a camera comparison, I always try to find color to take in through the lenses. Paying attention to how a camera on a phone can process and spit back all the awesome colors is one thing I pay close attention to. I want to go on record right now and say that each of these phones does something really well. This doesn't mean one phone is superior than the other. It just comes down to personal preference and what you value the most. Enough of that, let's get into the actual photos. In this picture, we have the Note on the left and the XS on the right. As you can see, these pictures are identical, but they're not. The differences, if you look at the color of the wood, they're drastically different, even though they're the same photos. Both cameras interpreted the color of that wood much differently. I took this picture at a type of resale shop, a vintage type of resale shop, and it had all sorts of colors there, just lined up on the rack. I figured this would make an amazing photo, and I was right. Based on looking at this, both phones did absolutely amazing, and I don't really see a big difference one over the other. This is a picture taken with the front facing, also known as the selfie camera. As you guys can see here, the skies are processed much differently. Apple, being on the right, is showing a much darker blue sky, whereas Samsung on the left is showing a much more vibrant and brighter sky, and the clouds look phenomenal in both pictures. Again, it's coming down to personal preference. Which photo is more visually appealing to you? Now we have a very similar photo, but now I've kicked on the bokeh effect. When it comes to Apple, it's called portrait. When it comes to Samsung, it's called live focus. So it is a little bit different. As you can see, the umbrella from the table on the Note on the right hand side, it's not completely blurred out. But if you look at the Apple one, the one on the right, the iPhone XS, it handled it well. I hate to say it, but I think if we're gonna have a winner here, the iPhone XS Max takes home the trophy. The picture looks so much better through the iPhone processed portrait mode than the live focus on the Galaxy Note 9. Sorry, Samsung, this is not a win for you. Here we are in the car driving down a road in LA. I'm not really sure what road I was on or where I was, but I figured, hey, let me take this photo. Took a photo. I figured it would give some good perception. And I'm looking at this and I'm comparing them right and left to right. And I think the picture on the left actually came out a little bit clearer, whereas the one on the right seemed not as sharp. I'm not really too sure what that was about there, but I think the Note is the clear winner on this photo. Here we are up at the observatory over in LA, and as you can see, I stopped and got a picture of a guy leaning back taking a selfie of himself. Imagine that, someone taking a selfie with their phone in public. Now, we still have the Note on the left and we have the XS on the right. Again, it's coming down to personal preference. Both pictures are amazing. Now, one thing I do have to point out, Samsung has the adjustable aperture lens. Got that little arm, that little mechanical arm inside, switching out the apertures. So the question is, does Samsung really take a better photo with this feature added in? I'm looking at both of these pictures and I don't see a clear winner. They both look phenomenal. It's all coming down to your personal preference. Took this photo when I walked up to the observatory, and staying consistent, we have the Note on the left and the XS Max on the right. I think the winner of this picture is the one on the left. I think the Note processed the clouds better. It made them more defined. It made it pop as far as contrast when it comes to the actual statue. Now, the XS Max didn't do a bad job, but I think the clouds looked a little bit more gray, and it wasn't a cloudy day. So I'm thinking, where did that come from? I don't know, but that's what it gave us. It's all how it processes the colors and how it spits it back to us. Another photo up at the observatory. I figured this would be a good one to take in because we've got clouds, we've got mountains, we have sky, we have green grass, we've got some concrete, we've got all sorts of stuff going on. Now, we have the Note on the left and the XS Max on the right. Wow, if this photo isn't amazing in itself, but I think the winner in this one is definitely the XS Max. I think it looks phenomenal. It made the clouds look really defined, almost cartoonish, if you will, but I'm drawn more towards that photo than I am to the Note 9, despite the Note 9 supposed to have the best top tier low light image processing of anyone at the moment. So I gotta give a big thumbs up to Apple in this one. They definitely took it home. Here is me standing in the exact same location from the previous picture, except now I'm using the telescopic lenses. Telescopic, I don't know what it is. The zoom. I'm using the zoom lens to zoom in on the Hollywood sign. If you go back to the other picture just for a second, you can see in the far distance, there's the Hollywood sign up there in the hills. And now I'm standing in the exact same location, zooming in on it. That zoom on both of these cameras is phenomenal. But Samsung is the winner here. The picture on the left looks more realistic. The picture on the right, I don't know what happened to those clouds, but they almost look like they were painted. Actually, looking at the picture itself, it looks like the whole picture was kind of painted. Is this an image? Is this not? And I know they both share a little bit of a grainy feature to them, but we're comparing it for what it is. And I think that the Note 9 really wins when it comes to this. Here we are, front-facing, selfie, picture, no bokeh effect, no portrait, no live focus, no flash, side by side, taking a selfie. Taking them at the same exact time. And wow, did Apple finally figure out how not to blow out a sky? I think they did. This looks phenomenal. But Samsung, what happened here? You blew out the sky. It just looks like a big thing of nothingness. So, of course, the iPhone wins here. The Samsung front-facing camera completely blew out the sky. In 2018, about to be 2019, this is not okay. Not okay. So, big win for you, Apple. Big win. here we go. Front facing, selfie camera, bokeh portrait live mode effect in the works. But Apple wins again. You heard me correct. The Apple picture looks way better than the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I'm sorry, Samsung. You know I love you, but I gotta look at the photos and I gotta say to myself, I have to be real and I have to say, Apple, you're doing a better job. Good job. Great job. So proud of Apple. Now here we go. We are in a low light setting. That's what we're in. And this is what I have to point out. Well, I appreciate the fact that Samsung has this amazing image processing for low light photos, but it's not entirely realistic. That's not what I'm looking at. The sky is not blue in this picture, but if I look at the Apple photo, the sky's gray. It's getting dark. The sun is setting, if not almost down. Both pictures did an amazing job here, but which one do you prefer? That's what it comes down to. And for me, if I didn't know that the sky was not blue at the time of this picture being taken, I probably would have picked the Note 9. But I know better. So I'm going to go with the Apple photo in this one. I'm going to say the image processing is more accurate. And we can't have a camera comparison without pulling out the old panorama mode. I'm not a fan of this feature. It always creates some sort of weird bendy effect in the photo. I hope eventually somebody can get this right, but no one has done it yet. I think Huawei did a pretty good job of it, if I remember from my Mate 9, but I haven't owned a Huawei phone since then. But here, both photos look good. There's no clear-cut winner. I don't think either one of them have a lead over the other when it comes to panorama mode. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some slow-mo action. That's right, I was able to capture a hummingbird up at the observatory on both cameras, which is amazing in itself because hummingbirds move really quick, and it was just chilling right there waiting for me to take a photo. Let's first go ahead and take a look at the Note 9. And as you can see, the Note did a really good job of slowing that down. You can literally see the wings of that little hummingbird flapping. You can count how many times it was flapping in the slow-mo. Looks amazing. Great job, Samsung. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at the iPhone. This one, in my opinion, is the clear winner. Despite the fact that it didn't quite slow down the wings as slow as the Note 9 did, I still feel the picture is solid. I even was able to zoom in, it autofocused while it was in slow-mo mode, and it blew me away. I never used the slow-mo on the iPhone before, and I was so impressed by it. I had to take this picture. I had to share it with you guys. And I think now doing a side-by-side comparison, you can pick for yourself which one is the better picture, which one slowed it down better, which one is more visually appealing to you. Let me know in the descriptions. Tell me, which slow-mo feature do you prefer, the iPhone or the Note 9? Now that we've had a closer look at several key features of these cameras and how they handle our personal precious moments, which one do you favor the most? And what led you to this decision? Jump down into the comments below and tell me, which phone, which camera do you prefer and why? We're doing another giveaway here for the Love of Tech. Go down into the description, follow the Gleam link, click on it, and let's have some fun together. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. For the Love of Tech, go in your drawers, go under your beds, go in your closet, go in your sister's closet. Pull out those old electronics, go in your brother's closet. Pull out those old games that you're not playing with anymore. Dust them up, shine them up, give them to someone that doesn't have them. Put a smile on someone's face. And for the Love of Tech, namaste.